This person was one of the biggest artists of the late 80s and early 90s. His first 7 singles reached the top 5, and his debut album was triple platinum. His biggest hit was a song that he was never going to release because it was too personal. The story up next on Professor of Rock. Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. If you want to be a part of the ultimate love letter to the best music of the rock and roll era, we're talking the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, subscribe below right now, hit the bell so you never miss out. To get even more content and to become a curator of this history, make sure that you check us out on Patreon. Now, with Valentine's Day around the corner, we're going to feature several of the biggest love songs of the 1980s directly from the artists who wrote or performed them. You know, everybody loves a great song story, at least I do. Some of the greatest songs of all time were written in less than an hour. Some took years to coalesce. Some were inspired by life-changing events. Some just fell out of the sky where the artists have said that they just felt like a vessel. There's so many unique stories out there. Of the many hundreds of interviews that I've done and thousands of songs that I've been so fortunate to hear firsthand the story of, this one is up there. It's one of my favorites. That's another thing about doing interviews. You know, sometimes you interview an artist and they just blow you away with how funny they are, how charismatic, how down-to-earth, personal, and how wise they are. So this is a little bit of all of that. Great song story and a great interviewee. Richard Marx is truly one of the funniest guys in the music industry. He's also very smart, you know, in the way that he sees the industry that he's successfully maneuvered through. His self-titled debut album sold 3 million copies on the strength of several of 1987 and 1988's biggest hits, including Don't Mean Nothing, a number 3 on the pop charts and number 1 on the rock charts. It was a scathing look at the greed inside the music business. I mean, Joe Walsh of the Eagles played the slide guitar. Also, Randy Meisner and Timothy B. Schmidt, who both been in the Eagles at different times, sang the background vocals. And it really does, Don't Mean Nothing. Sounds like it could have been on side B of the Eagles album, The Long Run. You'll go back and listen to it, you'll see what I mean. It was nominated for Best Rock Vocal at the Grammys that year, and then the next single was Shoulda Known Better, another classic from that year that also went to number 3 on the Hot 100. And then the next single, Endless Summer Nights, that went all the way to number 2 in early '88, and it was an example of Richard Marx's perseverance, as the song was recorded years before, and it was rejected by about everybody, all the labels in '85 and '86. Richard Marx was born the son of Dick Marx, a jazz musician and founder of a jingle company, and his mother, a former singer. Richard started really young. At 5 years of age, he was singing jingles for his father's company. Some of the companies that he sang for were Arm & Hammer, Nestle Crunch, a lot more. At just 17, a demo tape of Marx's, of his song somehow got the attention of Lionel Richie. And Lionel thought that Marx had something and told him he should come to LA. Richard Marx sang background vocal for some of the best talent in the music business, and he also co-wrote with many artists, including the late Kenny Rogers. The two of them wrote Kenny's number 1 country hit Crazy in '83 when Marx was just 19 years old. But Richard Marx wanted to record his own music as an artist. I mean, he kept pushing even when some in the business told him that he would never make it. And man, did he ever prove them wrong. After Endless Summer Nights came up short at number 2, Richard Marx had his first number 1 hit on the Hot 100 with the bombastic power ballad, Hold On to the Nights, which was actually the theme of my senior prom. Hold on to the nights. On his second album, Repeat Offender, which came out in the late spring of '89, if memory serves, it would do even better than his predecessor. It went 4 times platinum. Repeat Offender was the result of the energy that was generated from over a year and a half on the road, and every one of those songs on that album was written or co-written entirely by Richard Marx. The first single that Richard Marx released from Repeat Offender was the scorching rocker Satisfied. It became his second straight #1 hit. The next song that he would release would not only become his third consecutive #1 hit, it would be the biggest song of his career and one of the biggest love songs in popular music history, Right Here Waiting. Spotify has actually revealed that it's one of their biggest love songs at Valentine's Day almost every year. I asked Richard Marx about that, and just wait until you hear his hilarious response. I will be right here waiting for you. This is a song that Richard Marx almost didn't release. He almost didn't record it. It's a great story that only Richard can give justice to, so I'll let him do that. When this song went to #1 in 1989, it was just one of those iconic piano songs. That refrain seemed like everyone my age learned that on the piano. In fact, I think I can still play it from memory. There are just certain songs like that stick in your head. You know, I also remember that it was one of those songs that the girls absolutely adored. It was a school dance classic, if you will. We should make up a top 5 school dance classics countdown. Anyway, here is the only artist outside of Michael Jackson to write on a #1 hit in 4 straight decades, the wonderfully charismatic and hilarious Richard Marx on the story of Right Here Waiting. As we go into this interview, I do want to thank our sponsor, Zenni Eyewear, the only glasses you'll see me wear. If you are in the market for a new pair of glasses, sunglasses, or blue blockers that protect your eyes from digital blue light, go to Zenni.com to design your own for less than the price of a vinyl record. Here's Richard Marx. Your next single gave you 3 #1 hits in a row, right? Because Right Here Waiting, which I was actually reading an article the other day. Spotify said that it is the #1 love song on Spotify.
Really?
And Valentine's Day, they did a little thing about what are the most played love songs, and it was the top.
Wow. And yet it probably wouldn't make me enough to even refill that glass of Perrier. It's the #1 love song on Spotify, but you don't.
But you'll make about 32 cents
exactly.
from it. And I slowly go insane. I love the line, "As I slowly go insane." I mean, it just sets the song up so perfectly.
Yeah, we've
that
all been
first
there.
verse.
But it doesn't stop the pain.
That was your breakthrough on the UK charts. And again, the piano song, I could walk over to your piano right now and remember it just from, because everybody knew how to play that piece, and we thought we were so cool. But your signature song, one for the record books, tell us about that one.
I was on the first tour. I had very, very little breaks, very little time off ever. I think she was my fiance at the time. She was an actress, and she was doing a film in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that it was going to be a long separation, 3 or 4 months between my touring and her doing the film. So we, way in advance, I said, I need 2 weeks in the middle of this, her filming, to be off the tour, because I'm going to go to Africa to be with her, or else I'm not going to see her for like 4 months. So we built it in. We built a 2-week break in the tour. And 2 days before my flight, the production had moved to a city in South Africa. And the South African government got wind of me coming in somehow and thought I was coming to protest apartheid. So they denied my visa in the last minute. I was just going to see my girlfriend. So I couldn't go. So now, not only was I not going to see her for 4 months, but now I had 2 weeks of nothing to do. So I got with my friend Bruce Geich, and we were writing this angry, heavy, like almost a metal rock song, because I was just pissed off. And we were almost done with the song, and he had to go make a phone call or take a phone call or something with his daughter or something. And we were in his garage, with guitars, making up this song. And so he went in to take this phone call, and I sat at this little electric piano that he had. And Right Here Waiting, with most of the lyrics, just fell out. It's like I had rehearsed it for a month. I put my hands on the keys, and it's such a simple, it's like you can play it on the piano, so can any 5-year-old. It's in the key of C. I will be right here waiting for you. Everything fell out. And he came around the corner a couple minutes later, he went, whoa, what is that? And he put an envelope in front of me so I could just, start it, which is over there, it's in that frame over there, it's starting to fade. And so I finished it in 20 minutes. And we recorded a little 8-track demo of it. And I sent it, this is, pre-internet. So I had to mail it to Africa. And so it took 2 weeks or something like that. And to me, it was done. I didn't think about it in terms of a record or a song for my catalog. I didn't think about it in any other terms other than, I just need to say this to this person. And so to me, it was done. And then she she heard the opening riff and she started crying. And then it was the first line of the lyric and she started crying. So then she played it for all of her friends. And then her friends talked to my friends. And the next thing I knew, as I'm starting to make the Repeat Offender album, people are going, well, you're going to do that song Right Here Waiting, right? I was like, no, it's too personal and it doesn't fit the album. The album's a rock record and it's just too mellow. I remember at that time, Barbra Streisand asked me to write her a song, and I met with her, and she was really complimentary, and so I thought, oh, that's right. Right Here Waiting is perfect for her. So I sent it to her, and she called me and said, "Thank you. This music, the melody is so beautiful, but I'm going to need you to rewrite the lyrics because I'm not going to be right here waiting for anybody." It's true. So I went, no, I'm not going to rewrite the lyrics. It's too personal. And so I wrote this song, this big power ballad, big rock power ballad with Fee called No Sleepless Nights that nobody's ever heard. And we recorded it, we mixed it. It was the ballad for the record. And I had so many people bugging the shit out of me to just try to record Right Here Waiting. That I went, all right, we'll just spend one day on it. And we cut the whole thing in an afternoon. And I remember now, I sang the vocal 3 times, top to bottom. That's it.
Wow.
And the third time I'm singing it down, just before I started to sing, Fee Waybill, my co-writer on the ballad for the record, walked into the studio to visit me, and he sat down in the opening riff of Right Here Waiting, and he sat quietly, and I sang the song from top to bottom. And we got to the end, and Fee Waybill hit the top, and he went, "Motherfucker!" And then he knew his song was off the record. And I went, no, he goes, no. He goes, dude, it's undeniable. He goes, you just sang a #1 record.
Oh, can't you see it, baby?
I didn't ever hear it that way. I've never written a song I thought was a hit when I wrote it. But that song is, it changed my life.
And you've heard the great covers, obviously, Alexander O'Neill and Monica.
Monica's my favorite cover of that song.
I will be right here waiting for you.
Well, Barry Manilow. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
No matter what you think of Barry Manilow, you can't deny that Coca Cabana comes on the radio. You're not turning the channel.
Yeah, no. We've written together. We wrote a song that he did with Barbara.
If I see you next to never.
Even a couple nights ago at the Playboy Jazz Festival, I did it with this band Ozo Motley, and they did it like cumbia style, and they asked me to come and sing it to close the Playboy Jazz Festival, and it's like, wherever you, and still everybody in the Hollywood Bowl is just singing every word, and I'm thinking, wow, the power of this song is just, and that happens in Germany and in Chile and in Indonesia and in Australia and everywhere. So to have, not one, but a couple of songs that don't need a passport, even after all these years, 25 years or whatever, a real blessing.
Leave us a comment about this all-time love song and Richard Marx. With Valentine's Day coming up, what are your favorite love songs from your youth? What do you remember about that? I want to hear those memories. Please tell us in the comments section. If you dig this video, we invite you to subscribe below so that you never miss out. To get Richard Marx's music, including his new album, or actually, we're going to link to his autobiography. It's coming out soon. That's going to be mighty entertaining because he's such a great storyteller. Definitely check that out below. Click on our Amazon links. To get even more content, make sure to check us out on Patreon. Help us keep the music alive. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends. Stay safe out there.